Well, hopefully everyone can hear me and see me okay. I do see that my video is a bit blurry, but hopefully that shapes up in a little bit. But I'm super happy to be here with you today. My name is Eric. No association to Eric, although I do think I spell my name properly. But I'm here to speak to you today about policing as a creative and fulfilling career. And I'm super pleased to have been invited, considering where everybody who's joining today's heads might be around like the future of your career and what you might be getting into and what you're hoping to get into in the future. So I'm the head of employer brand and marketing at Police Now. I've been in marketing for uh, about 12, 13 years since I started my career. And currently at Police Now, I help recruit and attract people into roles that we have here at Police Now. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. And today, I want to challenge your thinking a little bit and to think about policing and what you might know about policing and what your perceptions of policing. I want to challenge those perceptions today and what you might think initially comes to your mind when thinking about policing. You might think uniform, flashing lights. You might have had encounters with policing, or your friends and families might have. So your perception of policing probably is unique in that sense. Um, so today I want you to think about one thing, and one thing is, what does creativity have to do with policing? It might not be the first word you associate with policing, but in modern policing, it's all about solving complex problems in ways that require critical thinking, innovation, empathy, adaptability, things that the younger generation coming into the workforce have and been built with, things that people from a creative background bring with them. Every day, police officers face situations where there's no script involved. They're going into situations that they have to think on their feet and act quickly and with integrity. Where thinking can not just save someone's life, but it could help build trust with people around them and help transform communities and to the society we live in. So when you think about the skills that you have in the creative world, think about how that could actually be applied in other ways that can actually save someone's life. Um, so what I want you to do is have a look at this picture and what you might see and what comes out to you. Um, who is this person? You know, is this person a designer, an artist, somebody who, perhaps a teacher at the end of the day, looking at all the pictures of their students? What this person is doing is looking at art, but it's something more complex. This is a creative process at the purest form. It's spotting connections, visuals, and making sense of this kind of complex world of art and design, and making sense of it to then bring those kind of concepts into life that others can understand. Might sound familiar, might be something that you actually want to do with your skills. This might be a dream job. Now look at this picture. Same person. They're looking at a different board, a crime board. But what do you think is different and what do you think is similar? Yes, it's not art. It's something different. Um, they're analyzing a crime board. They're connecting patterns and clues and connections, incredibly similar to what you might have seen through the art board. The policing isn't what you think it is, always. Yes, some of it might be what you might see on TV, what you might see detectives, do on those kind of amazing detective shows. But when it comes down to it, what they're doing is recognizing patterns, problem solving, and thinking outside the box. The same thing that others through design might have to think about and do. So why is creativity so important? Because at the end of the day, crimes that exist in our world today are changing, they're evolving, they're getting more sophisticated. They require just the same ingenuity and same creativity that these people that are committing crimes are doing. The innovation, the technology are things like AI, which the last speaker was talking briefly about. These things, whilst they can be used for good, they could also be used for bad. And those from professional crime networks across the world are using this new technology to create challenges for policing, cybercrime, online fraud, societal issues, things online, social media. What can you believe? What can you not? All these things that affect our day to day are new evolved types of crime. And new evolved types of crime can't rely on old method thinking, old ways of doing policing. They require new, innovative, creative thinking. And that's why the types of people that we get into policing, that we get into police now needs to change. And you might think, actually, I have these skills. I have that. I can problem solve. I can think outside the box. I do that through my creative thinking. But actually, can I do that through being an officer or detective?
Eric, sorry,
Yeah.
we might someone's saying that they can't see the slides. I don't know if that is for everyone, but do you want to just stop sharing your slides and then reshare them just in case?
Okay.
Ah, we can see them. Okay. So maybe it was just one person, but if everyone can
Mm,
see them, that's fine, and we can send out the slides after, can't we, Eric?
yes, of course. Can you see them now, May?
Yes, I can see them.
Okay.
Perfect. Yes,
Um,
we can see. Okay. Thank you so much.
no worries. Let me just get back to where I was. So yeah, crimes are evolving. Um, sorry, I've lost my place here a little bit. Give me 1 second. Um, so so crimes are evolving. They require different ways of thinking. And so you might start to think, actually, I have those skills. So creativity in policing, what does that mean? What does it come down to? Well, it shows up in many ways, but three big ways are community engagement. So how do you think about new ways to building community outreach and innovative outreach to build that trust with your communities? It's also found in problem solving. So again, finding solutions that nobody else sees. As a detective, you need to think about the world differently, and you need to find clues that others can't see. This is what makes a brilliant detective, is asking the questions and asking over and over again, um, you know, uh, uh, to be able to find the solutions and find that individual committing those crimes. And what you might end up finding is unlocking a skill that you might not have thought you had. The other way it comes about is in technology and innovation. So again, like I said, using things like AI and apps and VR to prevent crime and also train officers. So all these tools and technology that you're kind of growing up with, that you're using on a day-to-day basis, think about how actually you can use those differently in a world like this. You might have that skill set that others in policing who've been in the force for a long time don't have. And that kind of value that you can bring coming from a different background is unique. So I'm just going to show some real life examples because these are things that we live through every day. So you might have seen in the news lately, the Met Police in London, deploying these facial recognition cameras all throughout town, and starting with an area in Paddington and Oxford Circus, where they can actually spot people that link to crimes in a way that we've never been able to before. Somebody in policing had to bring that skill set in order for that to become a reality. And yes, there's probably debates and things about what facial recognition can and shouldn't do. But I think we could all agree that those who commit crimes need to face their punishment and come to justice. So by using this new technology is innovative in itself. We've had instances where things like apps have helped solve and prevent crimes as well. So, for example, like here, Manchester Police launching a new crime fighting app, Whereas before, calling 999 might not be enough for today's day and age. And so we've had people on our graduate program join police now who brought those kind of new ideas to their force and been able to launch these sort of tools that the policing has never had before. Yes, and this might sound sort of outdated and you know, it's an app at the end of the day. Like apps have been around for a while, but you know, these sort of things take a long time to make sure that they're launched correctly. And thinking about like, you know, technology and apps, yes, you can go work for a startup in technology, but actually think about how that same sort of skill set can actually help prevent crimes and help shape our society as well through policing. Drones, we love drones. You know, I've seen drones being used in fire as a replacement of fireworks as well. Like we know this technology exists, but actually, do you know that drones actually can be the first responders as well to crime? So this news here has come out recently where actually the Met as well have decided that drones actually can be the first responders. They can get to the scene first to give them eyes on what's happening before they actually enter into that situation that they're going. So that way, when they arrive as second responders to the drones, they know exactly what they're getting into to deal with that situation that's happening on the ground. So now that we've talked about a bit about how creativity and how kind of real world news is affecting policing and how these skills are so essential to the future police, I wanted to just briefly touch on Police Now and who we are, why I'm here talking to you today. So Police Now, we are a registered charity. We've been around for 10 years. We're actually celebrating our 10-year anniversary this year. We're on a mission to transform communities, reduce crime and antisocial behavior. And we do this by recruiting brilliant, diverse graduates who may have not considered policing as a career. So individuals, perhaps like yourself, who don't, you know, might have not thought, oh, policing, that's a type of career choice I would normally choose. No, we're looking for that kind of different skill set that can actually help build individuals into leaders in society, help shape that front line to reduce crime and antisocial behavior. Because you have the skill sets to do it, and we're here to help unlock those skill sets. So we're the only UK's national graduate program of policing. It's a 2-year program all throughout England and Wales. Sometimes each year those locations could vary. Um, and we offer 4 different specialisms. So counterterrorism, being a detective, economic crime, and neighborhoods. And people from any degree and background can apply. I'm just going to take a pause here because I did see a question come in, so I'm happy to answer it as well. In your opinion, are the majority of police you've met good and trustworthy? Yes. The 1% of bad police officers ruin it for the rest. The majority of police officers spend their day, every day, dealing with traumas. In people's worst moments, they have to be there for individuals. So, for example, a normal person living their normal life that isn't in policing might experience 1 or 2 really big traumas in their life. Police officers put themselves on the line to deal with about 10 to 15 traumas a day. It is a hard job. And most officers I've met are good people that really are in it for the right reasons. So yeah, I know that like obviously there's people that are in it for the wrong reasons, and we believe that those people need to be weeded out of policing. And we believe by bringing the good people in there, linking them with other good people, that will happen over time. So that's a bit about police now, and I just wanted to share a little bit about some stories from my officers. So these are some just examples of how our police now officers, you know, use their creative thinking on the day-to-day. About 5% of everyone recruit comes from a sort of creative degree or background. Another 10% comes from degrees that you just wouldn't even think about linking to that. So we don't just recruit people that are focused on criminology or policing as a career. The majority of people that come to us actually would never have considered policing in the first place. And these people come and do things like this. For example, on the left, we have one officer who built a strategy to help champion neurodiversity, both in force and how we deal with those from neurodiverse backgrounds on the ground as officers, and helping train officers to how to deal with situations from those who are neurodiverse. And that when approaching that individual, how to best deal with them and how to best approach them, whether they're a victim of crime or whether they're a potential suspect. We've used another police officer used creative technique to disrupt a huge organized shoplifting gang, something that shoplifting affects all of us. You might have even seen shoplifting happening in in local stores, and you wonder why police officers aren't there to deal with that. But to deal with organized shoplifting overall takes innovative new tactics in order to do that. And then we also do secondments as well. So we partner with other organizations. So Principle One is a national professional service organization trying to tackle crime on our streets. We partner with them to develop an app. Our officer led that to tackle against violence against women and girls, a huge problem in our society today. So policing, looks for more than just bravery and commitment and and those sort of traditional skills that you might think when it comes to policing. Those are still very important. But what we're looking for is leadership, resilience, solving, empathy and communication, adaptability. These things are essential to fighting modern day crimes, and will make you think differently about the way you might actually see your career. So just pointing out a couple. So resilience. Policing is challenging. Creative thinkers adapt and bounce back. Empathy and communications. Creative people connect deeply with others, which is vital for people on the ground building trust. These skills are actually skills that those from creative backgrounds usually have. So by transferring those skills over to policing, you can help drive change in our society. The last thing I'll share with you is this story of Upile, who is a detective inspector who joined police now back in 2016. And I just want to share this because it's usually unknown about the different variety that exists within policing. And policing is a career that you can take your career in just so many different ways, from tackling different crime to doing secondments in and out of policing, working with government to help challenge to drive change that helps influence senior stakeholders in government to drive police different responses to policing. Upila started as a neighborhood officer. He moved into becoming a detective. He's sat on different boards. He's won different policing awards and excellence awards for his innovation. He now works with online abuse as well as helping fight violence against women and girls. And he's been promoted over time. So you can either rise the ranks or you can work at the various different types of offerings that policing does have within a career. So the last thing I'll say is this is something that's near and dear to us, is that we believe that every brave new idea will change lives forever. And that is what we're talking about today, is that individuals have skills that you might not see what your future has for those skills, but this allows an option for you in case you want a fulfilling career at the end of the day. So that's my 20 minutes done. Hopefully I've been able to challenge your thinking, offer something different and new in terms of the way that your careers might go. and how your skills can actually help prevent crime and save someone's life.